Tonight, Hakeem Jeffries and House Democrats did what the Democrats do in the end. They did the right thing for the country in the process, and they saved the Republican speaker again. Mike Johnson had no way out of this thing. We were headed for an Elon Musk-induced shutdown, from which, by the way, the Republican House would have had no exit, since all spending bills are constitutionally required to start in the House. The Democrats weren't willing to see the government shut down and the country thrown into chaos over the holidays. Democrats cleaning up Republican messes isn't just limited to these now recurring shutdown showdowns. It's about the entire stewardship of the country and the economy. One party makes a mess of it, one party cleans it up. Leader Jeffries offered this recent history lesson on the House floor.
Every time a Republican president comes into office, the one thing we can count on Republicans to do is to pass a massive tax cut for wealthy Americans, and in the process, stick working class Americans with the bill. Bill Clinton comes to office, inherits a significant deficit, and under his stewardship, President Clinton turns a deficit into a surplus and passes that surplus to President George W. Bush. President Obama comes in and inherits a deficit from a Republican president of $1.5 trillion, as well as the Great Recession. And working under the leadership of President Obama, Democrats in the House and the Senate get the situation turned around, and over an 8-year period of time, reduce the deficit by $1 trillion. And then Donald Trump comes to office, the Republicans turn their attention to the GOP tax scam, where 83% of the benefits went to the wealthiest 1%. In our nation's 248-year history, 25% of our nation's debt was accumulated during the 4 years of the former president. 25%. How dare you lecture America about fiscal responsibility, ever? And then President Biden comes to office, gets big things done for the American people on infrastructure, on the CHIPS and Science Act, standing up a clean energy economy, rescuing America from a once-in-a-century pandemic, gets all of these big things done, partnering with House Democrats and Senate Democrats. And in the process, in his first 2 years, reduces the deficit by $1.7 trillion. And so we see a very clear pattern.